Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk is an amazing story of how 400,000 Allied soldiers during the Second World War were rescued from a French beach before the Germans could destroy them all. But there is a small problem. Where were the Indian soldiers of the Royal British Army? No, seriously. Over 36,000 Indian soldiers died during the war and not even one frame for them? Nolan is a genius. But don't get us wrong, he has fallen into the classic trap of Western cinema that chooses to conveniently ignore parts of history. Dunkirk is the story of the biggest evacuation in military history. And turns out there were a few hundred Indian soldiers in that bunch, who came to France all the way from Bombay with 2,700 of their mules. Wait, why mules? So they could go on rough terrain where vehicles couldn't. These mules, in addition to being beasts of burden, had their voice boxes surgically removed, so that they didn't bray and draw the enemy's attention. All this just to deliver supplies for the British. And what did they get in return? Abandonment. Yes, that's right. The British decided they didn't need this extra load while running back home. But thankfully, there were some nice guys, like Colonel Ashdown, who pretended he didn't hear those orders and he got his troop of Indian men to Dunkirk beach anyway. He was rewarded with a court-martial. Thank you, Britain. Some had to save themselves, like junior officer Jamedar Maula Dad Khan, who saved his entire troop from being shelled, and he got an honorary medal for it. But why are Indian soldiers so important, you ask? Because they were the ones holding forth in North Africa and West Asia, while the British were busy fighting alongside their allies in Europe.
Our troops died at Dunkirk. There's no package at Dunkirk, and Anzio, and Arnhem, and Monte Cassino.
Really? But this church inside Britain's Royal Military Academy says otherwise. Just look at the stained glass art inside. Indian soldiers fought not only in France, but Persia, Iraq, Hong Kong, Greece, Italy, and Eritrea, on 3 continents.
Without the Indian army, the Japanese would have overrun India. They'd have linked up with the Germans in Iran, and the whole world would have come under the domination of the Axis alliance.
And what does the cinema of the West have to say about that? Absolutely no Indian soldiers in any of these films. But Patty Jenkins managed to do it with Wonder Woman, even if it just lasted for a few seconds. If she could do it, then so can Nolan and the rest.